consistency. It's not flashy, it's not loud, and it's rarely the thing people brag about, but it is the quiet, unshakable force behind every great achievement in history. Dreams don't crumble because people aren't talented enough. Goals don't fail because people don't want them badly enough. Most dreams die because people stop showing up. They start strong, they get excited, they work hard for a week, a month, maybe even a year. But then life gets busy, motivation fades, and that's when the difference between the successful and the unsuccessful becomes clear. The successful ones keep going. The truth is, anyone can work hard for a day. Anyone can be focused for a week. But the people who make their mark on this world are the ones who show up every single day. Even when it's boring, even when it's inconvenient, even when no one is watching. And staying consistent isn't just about discipline. It's about building the right habits, following the right rules, and creating a mindset so unshakable that quitting is simply not an option. So today I'm going to give you 7 powerful rules that will help you stay consistent. Not just for a week, not just for a month, but for as long as it takes to get the life you want. Rule 1, start small, but never stop. One of the biggest mistakes people make when chasing a goal is starting too big. They get a rush of motivation and try to overhaul their entire life in a single day. A strict diet, a grueling workout, a completely new routine, and it feels great for about 3 days. Then the crash comes, burnout hits, they miss 1 day, then 2, and before they know it, they're back to square one. Here's the truth. Consistency is not built in giant leaps. It's built in small, steady steps. You don't need to change everything overnight. You just need to start. If your goal is to get fit, start with 10 minutes of movement. If your goal is to write a book, start with 1 paragraph. If your goal is to save money, start with just $1 a day. It's not about how much you do. It's about proving to yourself that you can keep showing up. Think of it like planting a seed. You can't dump a gallon of water on it once and expect it to grow instantly. You water it a little every day. Over time, that seed becomes a plant, then a tree, then something that can weather any storm. Your habits are no different, and small wins compound. Small wins turn into big wins. And before you know it, you've built something that can't be shaken by bad days, low motivation, or setbacks. So if you want to stay consistent every single day, stop thinking about how much you're doing and start focusing on just starting every day, no matter how small. When you start small, you're lowering the barrier between thinking and doing. And here's the thing, action is contagious. One small action makes the next one easier. You might plan to just walk for 10 minutes, but once you're outside, you might end up walking for 30. You might tell yourself you'll write just 1 sentence. But once the pen touches the paper, you might find yourself writing 2 pages. This is called the momentum effect. The hardest part of any task is starting. Once you've begun, your brain resists stopping more than it resisted starting. That's why the magic isn't just showing up. Even if your effort for the day feels tiny, it's still a win because you've kept the habit alive. Think about a brick wall. Every day you lay a single brick. At first, it's just a few bricks on the ground. Nothing impressive. But days turn into weeks, weeks into months, and suddenly you've built a solid wall that can't be knocked down. That's your progress. It doesn't happen in a single day of massive effort. It happens in hundreds of small, steady days of showing up. And here's the most beautiful part. Starting small isn't just for beginners. Even the best athletes, musicians, and entrepreneurs in the world use this principle when they need to get back on track. They don't try to conquer the mountain in one leap. They take the first step, then another, and they never stop taking steps. So remember, the size of your start doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is that you start and you keep starting again every single day. Rule 2, create a non-negotiable routine. If you want to be consistent, you can't rely on willpower alone. Willpower is like a phone battery. It drains throughout the day. That's why your mornings feel fresh and full of potential, but by the evening. The solution: remove the need for daily decision M by creating a non-negotiable routine. That means you don't wake up wondering, should I work out today? You just do it because it's part of your schedule. You don't ask yourself, should I work on my business today? You already know the time slot when it happens. Consistency becomes effortless when your habits are locked into your day, like brushing your teeth. You don't debate it. You don't negotiate with yourself. You just do it. Here's a secret. The brain loves patterns. The more you repeat something at the same time and in the same way, the less mental energy it takes to do it. Eventually, you're not battling procrastination anymore. You're just following your own system. So, decide your routine, commit to it, and make it as automatic as possible. Remember, motivation gets you started, but routine keeps you going. When you make something non-negotiable, you strip away the mental back and forth that eats up your energy. Think about brushing your teeth. You don't stand in front of the mirror debating whether today is the day you'll keep your teeth clean. You do it because it's just what you do. That's the mindset you need for your habits. The reason so many people lose consistency is because they treat their goals as optional when life gets busy. But if you want real results, you have to build a system that makes your habits automatic. A system so strong that it survives bad moods, busy schedules, and even the days when you don't feel like doing anything at all. Start by choosing specific times for your habits, not vague intentions. Don't say, I'll work out after work. Say, I work out at 6:30 p.m. Don't say, I'll try to meditate in the morning. Say, I meditate right after I brush my teeth. By linking your habits to fixed moments in your day, you remove the guesswork. Also, keep your routine realistic. A 2-hour workout or a 3-hour writing session might sound impressive, but if it's not sustainable, you'll burn out. It's better to have a 20% nut daily routine you can stick to forever than a 2-hour routine you can only survive for a week. And here's the secret. A non-negotiable routine doesn't mean it's inflexible. It means it's adaptable but unskippable. If you usually go to the gym for an hour but you're short on time, you still go maybe for 20 minutes. If you normally read 10 pages but you're exhausted, you still read one. You keep the chain alive no matter what. Because in the end, your routine is the foundation of your consistency. Without it, you're building your habits on shifting sand. With it, you're building on solid rock. Rule 3. Track your progress visually. One of the most underrated tools for staying consistent is having a visual record of your progress. Our brains love seeing evidence of success. It creates a powerful feedback loop that keeps us coming back for more. Think about it. If you're trying to drink more water and you have a chart where you check off every day you hit your goal, missing a day will feel like breaking a chain. Your brain won't want to leave that gap, so you'll be more likely to keep going. This is why athletes keep training logs. Writers track word counts and successful businesses measure every single metric. What gets measured gets managed. It doesn't matter whether you use a physical calendar, a habit tracking app, or even sticky notes on your wall. The key is to make your progress visible. When you can literally see your consistency building day after day, it reinforces the belief that you are the kind of person who follows through. And that's the real magic. You're not just building a streak. You're building an identity. You stop saying, I'm trying to be consistent, and start saying, I am consistent. That mindset shift changes everything. There's something incredibly powerful about seeing your hard work stack up in front of you. It's like watching a staircase appear one step at a time, leading you to a higher version of yourself. Every check mark, every tick on your calendar, every filled-in square on your habit tracker is proof that you're moving forward. Even on the days when it doesn't feel like it, the human brain is wired to crave progress. When you see it visually, it triggers a small dopamine release, the same chemical that makes winning a game or receiving a compliment feel good. That tiny rush reinforces your desire to keep going, turning your habit into a self-rewarding loop. But tracking isn't just about motivation. It's also about accountability. A blank spot on your tracker isn't just a missed task. It's a reminder that you broke the flow. And for many people, that visual gap is enough to push them to get back on track quickly before one missed day becomes 3 and 3 becomes 30. You can make tracking as simple or as creative as you want. Some people use wall calendars and put a big X on each day they follow through. Others use apps that show streaks, graphs, or progress bars. You can even make it fun like a jar. where you drop a coin every time you complete your habit, and at the end of the month you reward yourself with something you've been wanting. The key is visibility. Keep your tracker where you'll see it daily. Your desk, your bedroom wall, your phone lock screen. Let it be a constant reminder that you've already invested too much to stop now. Because one day you'll look at that wall of check marks, those filled-in boxes, that jar full of coins, and you'll realize you didn't just build a streak. You built a reputation with yourself. You became the kind of person who does what they said they'd do. And that's worth more than any single result. Rule 4, focus on the process, not just the results. One of the biggest reasons people quit is because they get obsessed with the outcome and frustrated when it doesn't come fast enough. They step on the scale after 2 weeks of eating healthy and get discouraged because the number hasn't moved much. They post videos online for a month and get upset that they don't have thousands of followers yet. Here's the truth. Results take time, and the bigger the goal, the longer the timeline. But if you measure your success only by the outcome, you'll constantly feel like you're failing even when you're making progress. Instead, shift your focus to the process. Ask yourself, am I showing up? Am I sticking to the plan? Am I improving my skills? Because here's the secret. If you nail the process, the results have to follow. Think of it like climbing a mountain. If you stare at the peak all day, you'll feel exhausted and overwhelmed. But if you keep your eyes on the next step, the next foothold, the next move, eventually you'll look up and realize you've made it further than you thought possible. Fall in love with the daily grind, and the rewards will take care of themselves. When you live only for the end result, you rob yourself of the satisfaction that comes from the journey. The truth is, results are often out of your direct control. You can eat clean, exercise daily, and still have the scale move slower than you want. You can post valuable content for months and not go viral. But the process, that's yours to own. That's where your real power lies. The process is where you build skill. It's where you refine your discipline, learn patience, and develop mental toughness. If you can learn to enjoy the steps, even the repetitive, unglamorous ones, you'll be unstoppable. Because while others quit out of boredom or frustration, you'll keep going, fueled not just by the dream of the destination, but by the satisfaction of the work itself. Think of an athlete. They don't train only because they want the trophy. They train because they've fallen in love with the grind, the sweat, the daily improvement. The best writers don't type just for the bestseller list. They write because the act of writing itself feeds their soul. If you want long-term consistency, you have to find a way to make the process rewarding in its own right. And here's the ironic twist. When you focus on the process and not just the finish line, the results often come faster and feel more fulfilling because you weren't desperately chasing them. You are steadily building toward them. Rule 5. Remove friction and temptations. Sometimes staying consistent is less about willpower and more about designing your environment to work in your favor. If your surroundings make your good habits easy and your bad habits hard, you'll stay on track without having to constantly fight temptation. If you want to eat healthier, don't just buy healthy food. Keep it visible and ready to eat. Put fruit in a bowl on the counter, chop vegetables in advance, and keep junk food out of sight, or better yet, out of the house. If you want to read more, put a book on your pillow so you see it before bed. If you want to work out in the morning, set your clothes and shoes out the night before. On the flip side, make your bad habits harder to access. Turn off notifications that pull you into social media. Uninstall apps that waste your time. Put the TV remote in another room so watching just one episode becomes inconvenient. By removing friction for the habits you want to keep and adding friction to the habits you want to avoid, you make consistency almost automatic. You stop relying on willpower alone and start making success the easiest option. Your environment shapes your habits more than willpower ever will. If your surroundings constantly tempt you toward bad habits or make good habits inconvenient, you're fighting an uphill battle. The solution isn't to push harder. It's to design your space for success. Rule 6. Accept imperfect days and keep going. One of the most dangerous traps for consistency is the all or nothing mindset. The idea that if you miss one day, you failed completely. People skip one workout and think, I blew it. I might as well stop. They break their diet once and think, it's over. I'll start again next month. But here's the truth. You will have off days. You will have times when life throws you curveballs, sickness, emergencies, unexpected problems. Missing a day isn't failure. The only real failure is letting one bad day turn into a bad week, then a bad month. The key is learning to forgive yourself quickly and get back on track immediately. If you trip while walking, you don't just lie on the ground. You get back up and keep moving. Treat your habits the same way. Consistency isn't about being perfect. It's about refusing to quit even when things aren't ideal. Remember, progress is never lost unless you stop completely. One of the most damaging beliefs when it comes to building consistency is thinking you have to be perfect to succeed. Perfection sounds noble, but in reality it's a trap, because the moment you slip, and you will slip, you'll feel like all your progress is ruined. That's when most people throw everything away and say, I'll start over later. But here's the truth. Nobody, not even the most disciplined people you admire, has a perfect streak forever. Life will interrupt you. You'll get sick, you'll travel, you'll have emergencies, you'll have days where your energy is gone. The key is understanding that consistency isn't about never missing, it's about never quitting. Think about it like brushing your teeth. If you forget one morning, you don't give up on dental hygiene entirely. You just brush at night and get back to your normal routine the next day. Your other habits should be the same way. The danger comes when one missed day turns into 2, then 3, then a week.